The mystery of Leo, the lost lion. Have you ever imagined a lion being rescued and then becoming a hero? What if he was so strong and brave that he could save everyone around him? This story will take you on a journey you never expected, where compassion and courage lead to an unbelievable ending. In the small village of Kijiji, deep in the heart of Kenya, something extraordinary was about to happen. The locals had never seen anything like it before. A lion, lost and injured, was about to change the fate of an entire village. But how did he end up here? Normally, lions are found roaming the vast savannas and open plains, far from human settlements, where they are free to hunt and live in the wild. But this lion was different. What really happened? The lion had been carried away by a powerful river current or had strayed too far from his pride while searching for food. He had traveled for days, perhaps even weeks, until he found himself far away from home, over 700 kilometers from his familiar territory. But what he didn't know was that this journey was about to change his life forever. Would he survive, and if so, could he ever find his way back? Exhausted, hungry, and desperate, the lion finally arrived at the outskirts of a small village. He crouched low, observing the people, hearing their laughter, their voices, and the bustle of everyday life. But despite the abundance of sounds, he hesitated. Should he approach? Normally, lions keep their distance from humans. But this lion had traveled so far, and hunger now controlled him. His instinct screamed to avoid human contact, but his survival instinct pushed him forward. Would he take the risk? The lion, driven by hunger and weakness, decided to move closer. What he didn't realize was that the building ahead was the ranger station. With no strength left, he collapsed near the entrance, his body sagging with exhaustion. His eyes, filled with fear and vulnerability, seemed to plead for help. Could anyone save such a fierce animal, weakened by his journey? The rangers who were stationed there couldn't believe their eyes. A lion, right there, in the middle of the village? They hesitated, unsure of how to react. After all, lions are dangerous predators, not animals you casually approach. But the situation was dire, and the lion's condition was urgent. He needed help. The lion's front paw was severely injured. It was tucked close to his body as he lay motionless, too weak to stand. The rangers quickly called in the Wildlife Conservation Authority, who arrived shortly afterward. After days of treatment and several weeks of rest, the lion, now named Leo, began to recover. He grew stronger with each passing day, and the villagers, who had been deeply moved by his struggle, took on the responsibility of feeding him. Every day, they brought fresh meat and watched as Leo slowly regained his strength. But there was a longing in his eyes, a deep unspoken desire to return to the savannah, to the place where he truly belonged. Could he ever forget the land where he was born? Leo became a local celebrity. News of the lion's miraculous survival spread far and wide, and people from neighboring villages traveled to Kijiji to see the Lion of Kijiji. While the villagers adored him, experts warned that Leo couldn't stay there forever. His instincts called him back to the wild, to the place where he would be free once again. But the challenge was immense. How could a lion travel back hundreds of kilometers to his home? The rangers, however, weren't ready to give up on Leo. They refused to let him perish in this strange land. They put together a daring rescue operation. A plan was devised to return Leo to his natural habitat, using a helicopter to transport him over the vast distance. It was a mission like no other. But then, just when the mission was about to begin, something unexpected happened. Leo was sedated and placed in a custom-made transport cage designed to keep him secure during the flight. As the helicopter took off, the team felt a surge of hope, but it wasn't long before they heard something unsettling. The lion woke up. The sudden movement inside the cage startled the rescuers. What should they do? Any sudden movements could provoke Leo or even cause him to break free, risking the safety of everyone on board. The tension in the helicopter was palpable. But surprisingly, Leo didn't react aggressively. He simply looked around, calm yet curious, as if understanding that he was being returned to the wild. He was going home. The flight was nerve-wracking, but after what felt like an eternity, the helicopter finally reached its destination. They had reached the savannah where Leo would be released. As the helicopter landed, the team carefully opened the cage. At first, Leo hesitated, unsure of his surroundings. But then, he recognized it. The air, the vast land, the open skies, it was home. Without hesitation, Leo took off running, faster than ever, toward the horizon. The villagers, the rangers, and the officials watched, tears in their eyes, as Leo disappeared into the savannah. He had finally returned to where he belonged. But the story doesn't end there. Months passed, and a severe drought struck the region. Water and food became scarce, and a herd of desperate elephants, driven mad by thirst, stormed toward the village. The elephants began destroying crops, knocking down structures, and putting the villagers' lives in danger. As the chaos unfolded, an unexpected figure appeared. Leo, now fully grown and stronger than ever, emerged from the shadows. With fierce courage, Leo charged toward the elephants, roaring loudly, standing his ground. The elephants, startled by his presence, hesitated. Leo's imposing figure and intimidating growls forced the herd to retreat, and with strategic movements, he led them toward a nearby watering hole. The villagers watched in awe as the lion, their former guest, became their protector. Leo had returned not just to the savannah, but to them. As Leo ensured the safety of the village, he lingered near the outskirts, silently watching over the people who had saved his life. He had not forgotten them, and he never would. With one last glance, Leo disappeared into the wilderness, leaving behind a legacy of gratitude and heroism. Leo's return was a powerful reminder: even in the wildest places, acts of compassion can forge unbreakable bonds between humans and nature. And now, I ask you, what would you do if you found a lost lion? Share your thoughts in the comments below and tell your friends about this incredible story. Kindness and courage can change the fate of even the fiercest creatures.